Hi, and welcome back to the JJ's Declutter podcast. We have a magazine moments episode for you today. We have pulled up an article that came from Backyard Garden Lover, and this article is by Bonnie Ferrero, and it's from this actual week. So on we go. 12 easy fixes to declutter the yard and make it pop. So, Janis, the first one is to gather and remove yard clutter. But how do you decide what's clutter and what's not?
You look at if they're toys that are left on the lawn or empty pots stacked by the porch. Look for stray tools, forgotten projects, anything that makes it look messy probably doesn't belong there. And you should start by doing a walkthrough of your property with a trash bag for garbage and a bin for items that need to be stored. So you're kind of doing a flat surface scramble, but the flat surfaces are all over your yard, and you're going to carry a garbage bag with you and a bin to put things that need to be not tossed but put away.
Sure.
What we want you to do is, well, what they suggest, and I really like the way they set this out. So the action is to walk your yard and collect all out of place items. And this is going to work because it instantly removes the visual distractions and clutter, and it creates a sense of order. So now you need to designate permanent storage spots for common items like tools, hoses, and outdoor toys to prevent future clutter. So that's giving everything a home. And that actually makes a lot of sense.
It does. It does. So the second thing that they suggest is to trim and define overgrown edges. And that's what I find in my own yard. A lot of times I'll let it go a little too long and things start to look messy rather than gardening. Unkempt. So yeah, they're talking about the crisp, clean lines and some things are supposed to creeping time, things like that. So some things are supposed to, and if you have someone that's helping you, a child or spouse or whatever, you want to show them the creepy things that you want to keep. Just saying, not that it hasn't happened to me 10,000 times in my married life, but it is something to keep an eye on. So the action they suggest that you use an edger or trimmer to create the clean lines along walkways and driveways. And honestly, so many times that is just all you need to do, because it creates that sharp, defined border. And it just makes it look, it's like putting the period at the end of a sentence, or put on all your makeup and then lipstick at the end, that's kind of what this is. And they do suggest that you edge your lawn every few times that you mow it, just to keep those clean lines going.
Number 3 is to pull weeds from visible flower beds. Weeds have a way of making a garden look neglected, especially in prominent areas like the front entry beds or along main pathways. These weeds are competing with your plants for nutrients and water. So that's another reason why you want to weed regularly. And pulling weeds by hand after a rain when the soil is soft is much easier and probably the most effective method. But make sure you get the entire root system to prevent it from growing back. So the action is to hand pull weeds from your front flower beds and other high traffic areas. This is immediately going to clean up your garden beds and lets your desired plants shine, and it makes your garden look like it's being cared for. And the next step is to apply 2 to 3 layers of fresh mulch to help suppress future weed growth and retain soil moisture.
we have a lot of people in our area that they put down cardboard. So they put down cardboard on the top
I,
of the ground, and then they cover that with the mulch, and that really helps for the entire season.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So number 4 is to prune dead or unruly branches, because overgrown shrubs and dead branches on trees can make your yard feel chaotic and unkempt. So that quick pruning session also reshapes your plants and it removes unsightly dead wood, and that improves both the look and health of your garden. So grab a pair of pruning shears or loppers and walk around your yard and look for any branches that are dead, broken, or crossing over others. The action is trim away dead, broken, or overgrown branches from shrubs and small trees. It works because it restores plant shapes, removes eyesores, and promotes plant health. And, maybe the next step is to research the best time of year to prune your specific plants to avoid damaging them or sacrificing blooms.
So moving on to step 5, or the fifth item, is to sweep your porches and walkways. And that is really important because there's so much walking back and forth and back and forth. And so dirt, fallen leaves, grass clippings and cobwebs and all that stuff really does gather. And it makes things look dirty and uninviting and unkempt, like you said, Janis. One of the things that we like to do besides sweeping is we take boiling water we have a cobblestone pathway or walkway out front, and so weeds grow up in that a lot in between all the bricks, and so we just use boiling water and pour boiling water on them I don't know, we probably do it every couple of weeks during the summer. And it's not a whole lot of them because we pay attention quite often, but boy, it's fast and easy. And all it is water. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about adding some chemical or something. So the quick guide here is to sweep all your hard surfaces, to remove the leaves and dirt and debris. And it just instantly freshens up the entryway or your outdoor living spaces. Um, and the next steps is make sweeping a weekly habit, especially during seasons when the trees are dropping leaves or pollen. And right now in our neck of the woods, we have everything looks golden. Pollen is everywhere. Moving on. You want to properly store your garden hose. And that is something, because there's so many different kinds of garden hoses now, but it's really good
Yeah.
to have like a hanger or the wheel thing where you can roll it up to keep your hoses together and untangled, which helps them last longer, because if you have them untangled, they're not going to kink and get weak and split in some of those areas. So you want to, you can get a hose reel or a decorative pot. And we just have a wall hook, and it spins. And so we can just wind it up. So you want to neatly coil and store your garden hose after every use. And it just removes a common source of clutter, visual clutter, and it prevents tripping hazards. And I can attain to that because I've tripped in my own yard before and I wasn't paying attention to where I put the hose myself. But you want to consider installing a retractable hose reel for the ultimate inconvenience. I mean, if you've got some extra money, why not get one that you can push a button and it just pulls it up for you?
We're talking about things that'll make your backyard look better and pop. So number 7 is patch and seed bare spots in the lawn. So bare or thinning patches in your lawn can disrupt the uniform look of grass and make it appear unhealthy. So if you want to have that lush green lawn down the road, First, rake to remove any dead grass or debris from the bare spot and loosen the topsoil. Sprinkle a generous amount of grass seed appropriate to your climate and sun exposure, and then cover the seed with a thin layer of compost or topsoil to protect it and keep it moist. Water the area gently and keep it damp until the new grass is established. So the action is rake, seed, and top dress any bare patches in your lawn. It works because the process of filling in sparse areas will result in a fuller, healthier looking lawn. And water the newly seeded areas daily until the grass is a few inches tall. So number 8 is clean up around the bases of trees. The grass and weeds growing right up to the trunk of a tree can look messy and compete with the tree for water and nutrients. So create a clean ring around the base of your trees because that provides a neat landscape look and it's better for the tree's health. You want to, I don't know, would you plant a tree in the middle of your lawn? We never did. I don't know.
Depends. It
It says,
depends. Some people put little things like that to create garden areas and break
well,
up.
yeah, it could create shade and things like that. So it says use a shovel or garden tool to carefully remove the sod in a circle around the tree trunk to create a clean edge. And the diameter of 2 to 3 feet is a good starting point for smaller trees. Then apply a layer of mulch, but be sure to keep it a few inches away from the trunk itself to prevent rot and pest issues. So your action is remove grass and weeds from around the base of the trees. It creates a tidy, polished look and reduces competition of water and nutrients for the tree. And then again, add 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch to the cleared ring to retain moisture and suppress weeds.
So number 9, refresh or remove dead planters. And
Kind of like
basically,
zombies, right?
yes, absolutely. They, it's the plants from last year, and so they're gone. They didn't overwinter. It's just, kind of dried up dirt and dried up plant skeletons. And it can make everything look really not clean. So you can either give them a new life or you can store them, empty them and store them. And, go through your container collection and see what is usable, what isn't, what you're going to use or not. And we have all over our neighborhood, people are trading plant pots. It's hilarious. It's like in front of 10 houses on this street, there are little piles of pots out front, and people are going, "Oh, I need this one, and I need that one from that neighbor." It's just a hoot, but it's one way to get rid of them. Your action would be to empty and clean pots that have dead plants in them, and or replace them with new plants. And it removes that ugliness, basically. A depressing eyesore is what they call it. And it just adds a pop of color and life, and that's nice. So you want to choose low maintenance or like succulents, drought resistant kinds of ornamental grasses, evergreens for year round interest. But I find it's really cool to get your I can't think of what it's called. It's the master
Native.
gardeners. Get the master gardeners and then plant native plants. Yeah. So talk to some master gardeners and see. My computer camera is doing weird things here. Sorry. Anyway, so then you want to brighten the hardscape. So we're talking about the chairs and tables and all that kind of stuff. And everything can look like your patio can look really dirty really fast. So it's really good to go out on the patio, like not the covered porch, but the actual patio in the yard, if you have one, and sweep that Hummer, clean it off. You want to clear it off, clean it off, scrub it down, just to give it new life and to get rid of the dirt and stuff that's there. And it just really helps to brighten things up when they're clean too. So you can even use a power washer, which is what we do probably a couple times over the summer. We'll do it at the beginning and then we'll do it again towards the end, and use a power washer to clean off those areas. And it goes so fast and it's so nice. It makes a huge difference.
Now, number 11 is fix or replace broken outdoor lighting. And they're talking about solar lights. So they figure everybody switched over to solar lights, which I don't know if that's true. But they point out that when they're leaning, broken, or no longer working, they do more harm than good. And a row of dysfunctional lights looks cheap and neglected. So you should take a moment to inspect your outdoor lighting, straighten up the lights that are leaning over, clean the solar panels with a damp cloth to ensure that they're charging properly. And if a light is broken or no longer works, either replace it or remove it. It's better to have fewer well-functioning lights than a full set that looks dilapidated, which I think is true. So straighten, clean, or replace any broken or non-functional solar lights. This is going to ensure that your landscape lighting enhances your yard instead of detracting from it. And you might want to upgrade to higher solar or low voltage lighting for better durability and performance. So I think they're assuming that you just went and you bought those really cheap ones from Dollar Tree and you stuck it in your yard.
That's what we tend to do. We'll get those from the Dollar Tree, and it's like we've got some right now that are they're on their second year. My husband had to have them, and they're elves. They're so so yes, I have elves in my yard in time for Mother's Day and Memorial Day and all that, because why not?
True. Okay. So in number 12, and they've said it over and over and over again, add a fresh layer of mulch. So the reason behind this, it's actually saying mulch is the most powerful tool for a quick yard transformation. It's going to suppress the weeds, retain the moisture, and it provides a rich, uniform background that makes your plants pop. If your old mulch is faded thin or breaking down, a fresh layer can work wonders. So if you don't have time to mulch every bed, start with the most visible ones, like the area by your front door. And again, they're saying 2 to 3 inch layer is going to give you a space that is clean, cohesive, and professionally landscape looking. So apply a fresh layer of mulch to a key garden bed. It's going to instantly provide a neat, uniform appearance that makes your plant stand out. And plan to refresh the mulch in all your garden beds once a year to maintain the benefits and appearance. So I kind of like that. They took the outdoor habits and made it kind of like what we tell people to do inside their house.
Yeah,
Except I don't recommend that you spread mulch in your house.
Yeah. The pets do that. They're running in. Oh,
they can.
Funny. So that was by Bonnie Ferrero, and we really appreciate that. And with that being said, we will talk to you next time. Until then, keep it simple.
Keep it intentional.
And as
always, keep decluttering.
Keep decluttering. We did pretty good on that one.